sometimes I think we warp it and we think love is just letting people do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But actually, when you're a believer, love doesn't celebrate the wrong.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Joy podcast. I'm your host, Ash Couchman, and I cannot wait to find moments of joy with you today. I am so excited to be diving into the Word of God together today. Let's jump into the conversation.
Tobias, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Love having you here.
Love being here.
Bring your husband to work day.
Go to your wife work day.
You know what I am loving though?
What are you loving?
Christmas season. I live and breathe Christmas. You on the other hand.
I'm a Grinch.
You're not a Grinch.
Nah, I'm not quite a Grinch.
You just think I'm a bit extra when it comes to...
I don't say you're a bit extra. I'm just...
What do you think then?
I don't know. I wouldn't say you're extra.
Tell me your thoughts.
I just say you're excited.
I do get excited about
you
Christmas.
You do get excited.
We've already
just
put our Christmas
early.
tree up.
It's way too early for a Christmas tree.
So much fun. This is our first Christmas married at home together.
Yeah.
We were away with your family last Christmas, and so I'm just excited for all the fun things. I've already forced you to watch a Christmas movie.
It's crazy.
Why don't you like it?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just... Christmas is a December thing.
But don't you understand? We are so busy at Christmas.
Yeah,
we wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
We can still enjoy it in December. It's fine.
No.
I'm sure all the other husbands are with me.
No, I think that there are definitely some husbands who are for it.
There are some, but yes.
You don't even hate it. You're just being a Grinch.
You said I wasn't a Grinch.
You're not a Grinch. You're being a party pooper.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Let's jump into today's words to live by.
Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It's in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 6.
What comes to mind when you read this, Tobias?
Yeah, so for me personally, it's almost like one of those obvious scriptures without being obvious, if that makes sense. And it's just so true that love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices with truth. And so whilst reading this is obviously Paul speaking to the church of Corinth, and he's speaking to the church that are at the time, they're great, the group of people, but they're quite divided, just doing their own thing. And so he's obviously coming in and he's encouraging people to, and says that love doesn't delight in evil, but it rejoices with truth. And so he reminds us that how spiritual and talented we are, or whatever we do, without love, everything's meaningless. And so, yeah, it's just for me personally, it's just the importance of love and the importance of truth.
It's also kind of saying when you know the love of God, like when you know what the truth is, you cannot be someone who doesn't care for people. You cannot be celebrating unjust things. You can't be celebrating, like sin, anything like that.
Yeah.
We cannot be people who say, I love God on one hand, but I'm going to enjoy and take part in this, and this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I want to. And that's kind of what Paul was saying to the church. They were known for being not great. And this thought
immature.
that not even immature, like blatantly loving things that were unjust, treating people wrong, all of that. And the idea that love doesn't delight in wrongdoing, it's such an important part of our faith. Yeah. When we see injustice, when we see people being treated unfairly and unkindly, like we're called to cling to what is good. Yeah. And then on top of that, we're called to know truth. So I talked about this on a podcast episode the other day, like this day and age, truth feels subjective. Like I was talking to our friend Keely about it the other day, and I was like, for the world, where does truth come from? Like where are people getting their truth? And for us, we're lucky that we've got the Bible to give us that truth and that rooted truth. But we need to make sure that we are living in a biblically accurate way. We're living in a way that reflects God's character. We're living in a way that's showing and reflecting his love, and being someone who rejoices in truth. It's someone that finds joy in genuine, honest things that align with God's will. And it's like, it's encouraging us in our communities, in our churches, in our friendship groups to focus on those things, and to make sure that we aren't taking pleasure in things that are not of God.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get distracted and confused and all of these things. But I think it's interesting that it says like this. It says, love takes no pleasure in evil, but it rejoices in truth. And we get our truth from the Word of God. We get our truth from Jesus. We get our truth from knowing Him and His character. And so we need to make sure that we know what truth is so that we cannot rejoice or find things pleasurable that's evil.
That's evil. And it's like, it's so true as well, because like in this, Paul's defining love not as a feeling, but it's a choice and a character we have to go by that reflects God's nature.
Yeah.
And so, you know, even as you were just sharing, it's like, you know, we got to go through and we got to choose to love. It's a choice we need to make. It's a choice that it's a character that we need to reflect. And obviously we reflect the character of Jesus, and we want to, you know, grow and be like Him more and more every single day. And so, you know, when we rejoice with truth, because love doesn't delight in evil, it's just, you know, we celebrate easily. We, you know, people around us, and, you know, I can often think back of so many times in life where we can get stuck in, there's so many different things people can struggle with, whether it's comparison or, you know, quarrelsome or judgment or whatever it may be. But we actually got to take a step back and go, hey, but no, Jesus has called us to love. He's called us to, you know, rejoice in truth and rejoice with those people. And I can think of so many circumstances and incidences where I've been like, I've almost like a natural brain or whatever it is goes to one thought pattern, but we need to like pull ourselves into gear and pull ourselves back again and go, oh no, we need to love this person, we need to celebrate this person, we need to
our worldly brain
God's heart.
Can go, oh well, they did this to me and they've wronged me, so I'm justified in my revenge, or I'm justified in my anger. But actually learning how to give it to God. And something else I think this is talking about is like love, in the sense of like you and I get to be like young adults pastors, and we get to walk a lot of people through life. Yeah. But I think a misconception sometimes is like love speaks truth, right? So as leaders, like if we see, you know, someone that we're pastoring doing things that they shouldn't be, or living life in a way they shouldn't be, we in love are called to tell them the truth, right? And so I think sometimes we think as Christians, we go, well, I just need to show them the love of Jesus, and like, you know, and everything will be figured out. But like if we're cheering on things that we know God is saying is wrong, like we can't do that, particularly because we lead things and stuff like that. And you know, you're not going to say this to everyone, you're only going to say this to close friends or people that you're leading or anything like that. You can't rejoice over wrongdoing, so you need to call it to the light in a kind, compassionate, loving way. But love isn't just letting it happen and saying, oh, that's okay, it's all good. It's actually going, hey, I love you so much, I can't just let you keep doing this. Because
it's like that thought of, you know, love, it motivates us to do what's right and true, not what's convenient. Yeah. And it's just that thought process of, you know, that when we walk in real love with, you know, people we lead, people we love, our family, our friends, our colleagues, every area of life, when we walk in real love, it's just that constant reminder of we build people up, we don't tear them down. And just that thought of, you know, we need to do what's true and what's right. Yeah.
When you were walking through your like testimony building days, was there someone that was like kind and honest with you and was like in love, was like telling you that truth? Yeah,
definitely. I think I went through a pretty rough stage, and there was a couple guys in my world, and I swear, I look back on it now, it's like maybe they were just tag teaming and they're probably all talking to each other anyway. But there was different seasons of life, and God's so gracious in those moments, and He's obviously so kind to us. But I look back now and go, oh yeah, there's like times where there was specific guys in my world that would call out my rubbish, and they'd call out, you know, kick me up the butt a little bit. And then there was other times that they didn't, and they'd just love on me, and not that they'd accept what I was doing, but they would just love on me for who I was, not what I was doing. And so, but then I look back on it and go, you know, obviously everything happens for a reason, and in that season it's what helped me and it's what got me out of it. But I was like, sometimes I wish they all kicked me up the butt, because then I could have got out of it a lot quicker. But it was, it's just like those things, and it's, you look back on it and now and you go, in the moment, you can often
you're like
go,
almost offended. You're
yeah,
like, how dare you say that?
You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know this. You don't know this. What do you mean? But just to, like, I remember it so vividly. Like, I won't get into detail. One time I did some silly things, and one of these guys that was discipling me just asked me point blank, and he said, "Did you do this, this, this?" And I remember my first natural tendency would be like, "No, why would I do that?" And I remember I just, like, literally without a second of hesitation, I just responded, like, I replied to him and I said, "Yeah, I did." And then, because in the past I would obviously, you know, not that I would lie, but I'd just be like, I don't
probably twisted the truth a little.
I'd twist the truth a little bit, because I just don't want to deal with the repercussions, and I just don't want to like, at the time I was just like, I don't want people's opinions. I just want to do my own thing. But it was weird. Like, I literally remember it like it was yesterday, and it was like, and then I remember after the conversation, and I was like, why did I just just tell him the truth so quickly? I was just like, I didn't even try and pen my way out of it. I was just, and in that moment he was firm, and he knew, like, I knew he was firm in a way of, I should have, you know, pulled my head in. But at the same time, he did it with such grace.
And you knew that he loved you.
Exactly. I knew his intentions were right. And I knew his motivation was love. It wasn't to condemn me. It wasn't to tear me apart. It wasn't to pull me down, but it was actually to build me up. And that's, at the end of the day, what love is. And so, yeah,
the truth in love is what it's all about.
Definitely.
Not rejoicing in evil, and just being able to fix our eyes on what is good, what is truthful, what is honorable, all those things. And I'm so grateful that you have people like that in your world. And look, we're not saying that you should go around pointing a finger at everyone saying that. You got to discern, and it's the people that you're doing life with and surrounded with and you know, accountable to. But sometimes I think we warp it and we think love is just letting people do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But actually, when you're a believer, love doesn't celebrate the wrong.
Yeah.
Love doesn't encourage the wrong.
Exactly.
And so it's like, healthy, gracious ways of talking about it in love that helps call us higher is like the best way to go.
Yeah, so true.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the podcast. I hope that it encouraged you, that it's helped you through, and that it helps to challenge you through the season of life that you're facing, uplift you if you're feeling down, and most of all, I pray that you're able to draw closer and closer to God. I'm so excited to keep diving into the Word of God with you. I pray you're able to find moments of joy.